All right, so those of you who are in Tennessee, guess what? House Bill 2689 is getting ready to pass. That is requiring paternity tests before you sign the birth certificate. Because, you know, when people do paternity tests, 1/3 of the time, they end up not being the father. And if they start testing everybody, that number can only go up, not down. It's going to be dramatic. And right now they're starting to also add in things like, you know, maternity fraud is a crime, a punishable crime. So guys used to go.
Let me tell y'all how this made me so happy on so many levels. Like, I can't wait. That's the best thing Tennessee can do. That's the best thing the world can do. Because there's so many men out here that are taking care of children that's not theirs, and then they have to deal with the baby mama drama, and that ain't even their baby mama. Like, it's a lot of y'all out here be lying, and then y'all make the good ones look bad because y'all out here lying to them folks. Y'all gonna get in trouble. I can't wait. Y'all gonna go to jail. Because I be telling y'all, baby daddy, them ain't they kids. And they be like, he look just like me. Boy, the mailman look like you. That might be your daddy, but that baby not yours. And then they go and find out. And they be like, man, you was right. After we got to argue, though, because they be like, man, you tripping. I'm an empath. I feel that shit. That baby ain't yours.
Hey, folks, this is Jeff for This Week with JTT. And great news for men, especially those who've been accused of being deadbeat dads, when in reality they're not. Tennessee bill, if I'm correct, is 2689. I think it's, House Bill 2689 has been finally passed that makes maternity fraud a crime. For example, like say a good man has been accused of being a father of a child that's not his, while his woman was fooling around with a Pookie and Ray Ray. So now, before you sign a birth certificate, there gotta be paternity tests. And the paternity test shows that he's not the father of the kid. The mother got some explaining to do. But here's the thing though, it's not gonna stop in Tennessee. I promise you, it will not stop in Tennessee. No way. I promise you, men around the United States who are in that same legal quagmire, fighting, you know, whether he's the father or not, they got wind of it. They know it. And it won't stop there. It won't stop in Tennessee. It's going to spread like wildfire. There's some women who support it. There's some women who's going to fight against it. Either way, to those women who thought they could get over playing shiesty games, or the good man while playing with the Pookie and Ray Ray, getting them knocked up, your days are done. Your days are numbered. Sooner or later, the law will come for you. But trust me, a lot more people be talking about it. Let's check this out.
So we've all seen it, and today we're going to talk about it. Paternity fraud. So I wanted to talk about this because this seems to be the new buzzword that BMs are using to scream to the top of the world that women are deceiving men when it comes to the paternity of their children. So I looked into the actual data, and then of course, you know, your girl is going to come with the receipts as well as provide context behind the stats that they regurgitate, but they never provide the context in which those stats were generated. So let's do it. So for starters, they seem to be getting that data from a 2010 research article. So the data is already coming out old. It said 30% of men are not the father. Paternity tests show a dramatic rise in the number of individuals seeking DNA and paternity testing. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to why people are getting these paternity tests and why it's coming out as 30%. So first of all, 30% is not even half. So less than half of these men, and this is old men, they didn't even break it down to black, white, Hispanic, Asian, none of that. This is 30% of all men that they're saying with this 30%, and they're acting like it's the worst thing in the world. So it says this is an often misunderstood statistic provided by some paternity test labs regarding a percentage of paternity tests with a not the father result. Most paternity test labs report that about a third of their paternity tests have a negative result. Of all possible fathers who take a paternity test, about 32% are not the biological father. here is the context that they miss out on. It says, but remember, this is 1/3 of men who have a reason to take the paternity test. So this stat does not include 1/3 of all men. And that is the defining factor that they insist on leaving out. So that is why anytime you see them talking about stats on here, it's important to do your own research, because that 30% comes from the amount of men who had a reason to take the paternity test, and it does not account for all men across the board. So that's an extremely small pool that are saying 30% of the test came back as them not being a father. So anytime you see a M on here, especially a BM, screaming to their top of their lungs and regurgitating statistics, make sure you look into the data yourself and find out the context behind these stats that they're quoting, because a lot of them just don't know how to read graphs and data.
Of course, you gotta find that that woman who said that 33% is not that big a deal. Here's the bottom line. Now more than ever, more men, I repeat, more men is gonna have more of a reason to check for the paternity of the kids. From now on, every time a woman says, I'm pregnant, first what men are gonna do, okay, let's do this. So no birth certificate is going to be signed until a paternity test is done. And like the other man says, chances are that number is going to go up. It's not going down. It's going up. Because here's reality. I'm surprised her being a woman don't see this. You going to tell me she don't see other women playing other men? You know, that even though she had sex with another dude, she made her current man the father because he has a job, he's good, he's stable. That's not right. But bottom line is this. You come with stats and figures. The reality is this, ma'am. More and more men are going to find a reason to take a paternity test. The moment they're having doubts, they can take a paternity test. Now, as for the men who already signed the birth certificate and all that, they're in a bit of a bind. But don't be surprised they may take it to the Supreme Court to change some things. So in other words, though, if they know that the kid's not there but being forced to take care of the kid or pay something, don't be surprised when it goes to the Supreme Court saying, like, you know what, that's not right. We were deceived, we were forced, that's not right. And the mother should be made accountable. And I go so far as say, men have been known to go to jail over this. And these women will let admit, yeah, you're right, he's not the father of the kid, and nothing happens to them. Guess what? Because of House Bill 2686 in Tennessee, that starts it all, that's going to change. It's not going to change like, say, today, tomorrow, next week, not even next year. But I promise you before this decade's out, it's going to change drastically. So like I said before, to all the dishonest women who try to play games with good men, it's done, it's over, and the law's coming for you sooner or later. Just saying. But wait, there's one more.
As you're in Tennessee, guess what? House Bill 2689 is getting ready to pass. That is requiring paternity tests before you sign the birth certificate. Because, you know, when people do paternity tests, 1/3 of the time, they end up not being the father. And if they start testing everybody, that number can only go up, not down. They're actually starting to jail time the ladies for maternity fraud because it is such a rampant crime. And yes, it's a crime.
Hallelujah. This needs to go nationwide, but at least it's the first step. Progress, not perfection. But in the meantime, I advise any male that I know to get yourself a DNA kit and swab that child's mouth, because you'd be surprised just how many of those kids belong to another man. Women do this all the time. I'm a woman. I hear what's going on. They'll usually attribute that child, even if that child is from someone else, they'll attribute that child to the best man. the man they feel has the most money or the best ability to be a father. Please, guys, get those babies swabbed.
Hey, folks, that was Demi, and I hope I don't mangle her name. Her name was Demi Della Newt, I think. She's a very intelligent lady, great content. Check her on TikTok. Trust me, check her TikTok. You won't be sorry. And what she said is true. That's why I laugh at the other lady who's like against it. But Demi says it best. She hears what women says. She hears how these women clown these good men. And what she said is perfect. These women will play around with the Pookie and Ray Ray, Chad Tyrells, but those guys ain't gonna wipe them up. No. These women end up settling for the guys who have the most money and best suited to be a father. Well, guess what? If a Pookie and Ray Ray knocks you up, you might go with them to take care of business with you and the kid. Don't try to saddle on a person that had nothing to do with it. The only exception to the rule, like say, if he knew ahead of time that she's pregnant and all, and he decided to help her, good for him. But if she tried to deceive and lie to him, no. There gotta be consequences for that. That's just ridiculous. And like Debbie said, this should go nationwide, which I strongly believe it will. There's no way it's gonna stop in Tennessee. No way. Too many men had enough. I know the men's rights advocacy group, they're gonna be screaming to the mountaintop to make sure it's gonna go nationwide. That's not like, just a prediction. It's gonna be an eventuality. Simple as that. Like I said, thank you for checking us out, folks. Share, like, subscribe. Peace and love.